Hey everyone, I'm Jessica Carter. I'm about to graduate from one of the top universities in the country with a degree in computer science. It's been a wild ride and I'm really proud of how far I've come. But honestly, my family life, it's a mess. My parents split when I was a kid, and after that, my dad's side of the family pretty much disappeared from our lives, including my Uncle Robert. I've got these blurry memories of him visiting when I was little, like that one time he helped out when we were going through a tough patch. But it's all kind of hazy now. As graduation gets closer, I can't stop thinking about the past. I've worked my ass off for 4 years, and now I'm on the verge of something huge. But there's this nagging feeling that something's missing. Hey Jess, you okay? That's Mike, my boyfriend. He's been my rock through all this college craziness. Yeah, I'm good, just thinking about family stuff. Your dad's side again, he asks. I nod, biting my lip. I was thinking about inviting Uncle Robert to graduation. Mike raises an eyebrow. The estranged uncle? Are you sure that's a good idea? I don't know. Maybe it's time to build some bridges. I pull out my phone and start scrolling through social media. After some digging, I finally find Uncle Robert's profile. My finger hovers over the message button. What's the worst that could happen? I mutter, then type out a quick invite. Life goes on while I wait for a reply. I'm juggling final exams, prepping for job interviews, and trying to keep it all together. It's a lot, but I've never been one to back down from a challenge. A few days later, my phone pings. It's Uncle Robert. He's accepted the invitation. Holy crap, I say out loud, staring at my screen. What's up? Mike asks, looking up from his textbook. Uncle Robert, he's coming to graduation. Mike puts his book down. Wow, how do you feel about that? I let out a shaky breath, nervous, excited. I don't know. It's weird, right? A little, but hey, if this is what you want, I've got your back. I smile, grateful for his support. Thanks, Mike. I just hope it doesn't blow up in my face. As graduation day gets closer, I throw myself into preparations, finalizing my resume, practicing interview questions, making sure my gown fits. But in the back of my mind, I'm constantly wondering what's going to happen when Uncle Robert shows up. I try to focus on the positives. I'm graduating, I've got job prospects, and I've got Mike. Things are looking up. But the night before, I can't shake this feeling, like I'm standing on the edge of a diving board, unsure if there's water in the pool. It'll be fine, I whisper to myself in the dark. Everything's going to be fine. Little did I know, inviting Uncle Robert was about to turn everything upside down. The big day finally arrives. My hands are shaking as I adjust my cap one last time. I can hear the crowd buzzing on the other side of the curtain. You ready, Jess? My best friend Alicia asks, giving my arm a squeeze. As ready as I'll ever be, I reply, taking a deep breath. The ceremony flies by in a blur. Before I know it, I'm walking across the stage, shaking hands with the dean as he hands me my diploma. I scan the crowd and spot my mom, Lisa, her face beaming with pride. And then, a few rows back, there's Uncle Robert. He actually came. After the ceremony, I'm swept up in hugs and congratulations. My mom pulls me into a tight embrace. I'm so proud of you, sweetie, she says, her voice thick with emotion. Thanks, Mom. I couldn't have done it without you. That's when I see Uncle Robert approaching. He looks older than I remember, his hair more gray than brown now. Jessica, congratulations. Thanks for coming, Uncle Robert. It means a lot. He nods and glances around. Can we talk privately for a moment? Curiosity gets the better of me, so I follow him to a quieter corner. That's when his expression changes. So about that loan I gave your mother 10 years ago. I blink, caught off guard. Loan? What loan? The $5,000 I lent her for your education. It's time to pay up. My jaw drops. I don't know anything about that. Are you sure? His face hardens. Of course I'm sure. Your mother promised to pay me back. And since it was for your education, I figure you should be the one to repay it. I'm speechless. This can't be happening. Not today of all days. Uncle Robert, I just graduated. I don't have that kind of money, I say, my voice trembling. His voice rises. Well, you better figure it out. I didn't come here for nothing, you know. I can feel eyes on us. And my face burns with embarrassment. Please, can we discuss this another time? This isn't the place, I plead, hoping to calm him down. No, we'll discuss it now, he interrupts, his voice growing louder. That's when my mom notices the commotion and rushes over. Robert, what's going on? She asks, her voice full of concern. Uncle Robert turns to her, his expression hard. Perfect timing, Lisa. Care to explain why your daughter hasn't paid back the money I lent you? Mom's face goes pale. Robert, not here. Not now. Why not? Seems like the perfect time to me. Families all together. Isn't that nice? He sneers. I look between them, feeling like I'm watching a tennis match. Can someone please tell me what's going on? I ask, my voice barely steady. Mom takes a deep breath. Honey, it's complicated. Your uncle did help us out years ago, but nothing. Uncle Robert cuts her off. I gave you that money in good faith, and you promised to pay it back. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Mike pushing his way through the crowd, concern written all over his face. Everything okay here? He asks. I'm about to respond when Uncle Robert scoffs. Oh, Greg the boyfriend. Tell me, young man, did you know you're dating a freeloader? Excuse me? Mike's voice drops, dangerously low. This is spiraling out of control. I need to do something. Everyone please, can we just take a breath? I say, my voice shaking. Uncle Robert, I had no idea about this loan. I'm sorry, but I can't pay you back right now. Maybe we can work something out later. But he's not having it. Later. I've waited 10 years. Your mother has been dodging me, and now you're trying to do the same. Mom steps between us, her eyes flashing with anger. That's enough, Robert. You want to talk about the past? Fine, let's talk about how you manipulated Dad into changing his will. Or how about the money you borrowed from Aunt Sarah and never paid back? The air feels electric. Years of unspoken tensions are bubbling to the surface, and I'm caught in the middle of it all. What should have been the happiest day of my life has turned into a nightmare. As I stand there, watching my family implode, I can't help but wonder what other secrets are lurking in our past. The graduation disaster left me reeling. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this story than just an unpaid loan. So I decided to dig deeper. Mom, we need to talk about Uncle Robert, I said one evening, sitting down at the kitchen table. She sighed, looking exhausted. I was hoping we could just forget about all that. I can't. Not until I know the truth. What really happened with that loan? I pressed. Mom hesitated, then pulled out a box of old documents. It's a long story, Jess. Are you sure you want to hear it? I'm sure, I replied. As we sifted through faded bank statements and old letters, a pattern started to emerge. Uncle Robert's name kept popping up, always tied to money problems. He didn't just lend us money, did he? I asked, my stomach sinking. Mom shook her head. No, he didn't. After your father left, Robert showed up acting like a savior. He offered to help with the bills, but there was always a catch. He guilt me into paying for his car repairs or covering his rent. It was never ending. I felt a surge of anger. Why didn't you tell me? I was embarrassed, Jess. I thought I could handle it on my own. The next day, I called my grandmother. Her voice trembled as she shared her own experiences. Robert, he's always been good at manipulating people. He convinced your grandfather to change his will, leaving everything to him. We didn't find out until it was too late. The pieces were falling into place, but I needed more answers. I reached out to Aunt Sarah, who I hadn't spoken to in years. Jessica, is that really you? She sounded surprised to hear from me. Hi, Aunt Sarah. I'm sorry to bother you, but I need to ask you about Uncle Robert. There was a long pause. What do you want to know? Everything. For the next hour, Aunt Sarah poured out years of pent-up frustration and hurt. Robert had borrowed money from her too, promising to pay it back with interest. He never did. Instead, he spread rumors about her, turning the family against her. I'm so sorry, Aunt Sarah. I had no idea. It's not your fault, sweetie. Robert's always been good at covering his tracks. As I uncovered more of Robert's deceptions, my personal life started to suffer. Mike and I got into an argument when I canceled our date night to continue my investigation. Jess, I get that this is important, but you can't let this consume you, Mike said, his frustration clear. You don't understand, I snapped. This isn't just about me, it's about my whole family. I'm trying to understand, but you're shutting me out, he replied, his voice softening. I knew he was right, but I couldn't stop now. I was so close to unraveling the full truth. My job search wasn't going any better either. During one interview, I was so distracted thinking about a lead I'd uncovered on Robert's shady business dealings that I bombed it completely. "I'm sorry, but I don't think you're a good fit for our company," the interviewer said, her voice tinged with disappointment. I walked out feeling defeated. Was I throwing away my future to expose the wrongs of the past? That night, I spread all the evidence I collected across my bedroom floor: bank statements, emails, handwritten notes. It all pointed to one undeniable conclusion. Uncle Robert hadn't just manipulated my mom and Aunt Sarah. He'd been exploiting the entire family for years. I stared at my phone, my finger hovering over Mike's number. I needed to talk to someone about all of this, but I hesitated. Would he understand, or would this drive an even bigger wedge between us? As I sat there, surrounded by the wreckage of my family's past, I realized I had a choice. I could keep digging, potentially at the cost of my relationships and future, or I could let it go and move on. But then I thought of Mom, Grandma, Aunt Sarah, all the people Robert had hurt. They deserved justice. And I was the only one in a position to make that happen. I took a deep breath and dialed Mike's number. It was time to let him in on everything. Whatever happened next, I knew I couldn't face it alone. Weeks of planning led to the day of the family reunion. My heart pounded as I watched everyone file into the rented hall, including Uncle Robert. "Thanks for organizing this, Jess," Mom said, squeezing my hand. I nodded, trying to calm my nerves. It was time to clear the air. Once everyone was seated, I stood up. "I know you're all wondering why I called this reunion. The truth is, we've been living with a lie for too long." I pulled out a projector and began presenting the evidence I'd gathered: bank statements, emails, recorded conversations, all pointing to Robert's years of manipulation and fraud. "You little snake," Robert shouted, leaping to his feet. "How dare you?" But his protests were drowned out as other family members spoke up. "He borrowed $10,000 from me and never paid it back," Cousin Tom revealed. Aunt Sarah chimed in. "He spread rumors about me to cover up his own theft." As Robert's facade crumbled, the family united against him. The decision to cut ties with him was unanimous. Unexpectedly, my investigation caught the attention of a corporate security firm. Impressed by my tenacity and skills, they offered me a job in fraud detection. Months later, I was thriving in my new career. My family had grown closer, healing old wounds together. Then, the news broke. Robert was facing charges for tax evasion and fraud in his business dealings. "Karma's a real kicker, huh?" Mike said, showing me the article. I smiled, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. Justice was served without us having to lift a finger. As I reflected on everything, I realized the importance of standing up to toxic people and the power of the truth. My future was bright, no longer overshadowed by Robert's manipulation. "Ready for dinner with the family?" Mike asked, grabbing his keys. I nodded, grateful for the stronger, more honest relationships we built. "More than ready. Let's go." The story ends here. What would you have done in Jessica's shoes? Would you have exposed Uncle Robert or kept the family secrets buried? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more compelling stories.